Hello, I'm Crickets and welcome back to I Have a Story. As you can tell by my hair, back with another mind-spinning story. Actually, this one just keeps continuing. I aired a story a couple months ago about a friend of mine who was in a car accident. She broke her back, amongst so many other things, busted the teeth out of her mouth. She was pronounced dead, and they were able to bring her back to life. I mean, we can do great things with our medical industry, but why is it so much of it is failing? RFK, if you want to help the American people with our health, one of the very first things you need to do is address our medical system. Now, we live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. She had to drive all the way down to Detroit a couple months ago, which is extremely painful, roughly 300 miles, give or take. It's painful for her to sit in a car. It's painful for me to sit in a car, and I can't do that stuff anymore. On top of my back progressively getting worse, but so are my organs and the compression in my bladder and my organs as I sit. Hopefully I can make it through this video. I already made it once, and again, just like yesterday, after roughly 5 minutes, it just stopped recording. I'll show you that at the end real quick, just because I'm sharing all. I mean, there is so much going on in our country. Let's bring in tens of millions and more people to take care of when we can't even take care of what's going on, again, in our own country. So a couple months ago, she drove all the way down to Detroit, took a day off of work. Fortunately, she works for herself and she can maintain a job. She could not if she didn't work for herself. But she doesn't get sick time. She doesn't get days off. She just loses money. And she needs it because she's got to pay all these medical bills. Because again, we can't take care of our own people, but we can take care of tens of millions of people who did not pay into our system and don't belong here, right? God, this is insanity. All of it is. So she drove all the way down to Detroit a couple months ago, and they messed up her paperwork and had to send her home, and she was livid. I'll attach that video at the end here. I also talked about an elderly gentleman who 1 year ago this November was supposed to come and visit. And he ended up having a heart attack 2 weeks roughly before he was supposed to come and visit, and called me and said, I can't make it. They sent him from Monroe, Michigan, all the way to Cleveland, Ohio clinic to get tests done and to see if there was anything they could do to help his heart condition. He drove himself from Monroe, Michigan, all the way to Cleveland, Ohio, and they messed up his paperwork and sent him home and said, sorry, we can't do anything. What is this? How is communication so difficult? This is part of why I blamed my doctor in the beginning. Now I find out, no, it's just more of my electronical failures. How is it my doctor can never get a hold of me? How is this our modern world? All the history, knowledge, technology, everything we have behind us in our country, and did we flush it all down the toilet? Because it doesn't seem like we know how to do anything anymore. I can't even have a phone and make a phone call. 5G, 5 bars, nothing will work. Nobody can call me. Well, at least not the important people. My friends have no problems calling me. My counselor has no problem calling me. Every once in a while she does. But she can send me a text message and then I just call her back and it works. Well, you're going to see this stuff and everything I've been talking about, even in these text messages, push somebody over the edge and off a bridge. So you can tell on here. These are our text messages. I was texting her. We were texting all last night, and even at 5:30 this morning, we were texting. She's, oh my God, she is at her wit's end with all of this. And you can, and I'm sharing this so you see what this is doing to people. I mean, she's sitting here sobbing. She called her doctor, called the cardiology, called somebody else too in there we were talking about. She's called multiple professionals who cleared her to have surgery, but they still, for a second time, refused to have surgery. And this is what it's doing to people. She feels hopeless. She feels helpless. She's shaking and puking, and this is what our medical industry is doing to people. It's supposed to be making us better, not worse. On top of all her physical conditions, now she's got obviously mental conditions from it because she is struggling. Because she can't get help. On top of the pain of driving all the way down there, she gets to continue living in pain, not getting the help that she needs. They didn't realize they didn't have her lab work ready. This is, and again, you know, here, somebody yesterday jumped off the Mackinac Bridge and killed themselves. I've been talking about this left and right and even been showing it all throughout my channel. People are crying for help. There is no help for people. Let's bring tens of millions and more people in here and screw up everything even more when we can't even take care of our own. And people are dying. Children are dying. All the horrible things that have been taking place, I've been sharing throughout my whole freaking channel. They weren't going to spend the money and stay in a hotel. She was going to get her surgery and come back home. Her husband took her and was going to drive her home, but now they're stuck spending more money because they sat for hours in the hospital. Hours. Like half a day for the hospital to do nothing. Just to sit there and tell her, well, we're still trying to find paperwork. We're still trying to get this ready. We're still trying to get you cleared to have surgery. You guys couldn't figure that out ahead of time? 2 months ago, they rescheduled it because they lost her paperwork and screwed up her paperwork and couldn't continue. Just like the guy who drove, an elderly man who just had a heart attack, drove himself by himself from Monroe, Michigan, all the way to Cleveland. Oh, we screwed up your paperwork. We can't do nothing. Turn around and head back home. Because a guy at 84 years old should be doing that, right? My God. Hell, our system, and we have so much money, technology, abilities. I mean, we would if the hospitals weren't pocketing so much money. I've already shared the story about how, over 20 years ago, back when I was a steel worker, that was before 9/11, the owner of Toledo Hospital was building $1 million mansions. I mean, these weren't even houses. They looked like resorts. Indoor swimming pools. Unbelievable. Literally 20-foot tall windows in the living room. It looked like, these houses look like resorts. Just so he can bring his friends from foreign countries where he's from, in the Middle East, and put people up in $1 million houses from the Middle East. Could only imagine, is he pushing them through the medical system because they don't know anything about the medical industry whatsoever. I've shared that over and over in my channel. Let my son die because he can't continue testing, because his heart is in so much pain. But there's nothing wrong with him and we'll send him home. Are you kidding me? Is he dead? They don't know. Our court systems don't give a shit. All they care about is charging me illegal sums of child support. This whole world has gone to But this is what we're doing to people, right? And then we got to have technology just screw everything up. The doctor cleared her. She's shaking, crying hysterically. I mean, she was crying for all yesterday, evening, this morning, still crying. And just like she said, this should have been figured out months ago, not the day she goes in for surgery. Wasn't even the day before, because if it was the day before they figured this out, they would have called her. I would hope they'd have at least the decency to call her and say, hey, we don't have you cleared. We can't do surgery tomorrow. No, instead take the day off of work. You put yourself through all the torment you have to go through in order to get down here, spend money, waste money, lose money. We're not going to bother telling you we can't do it. They care so much about us, right? I mean, God, this proves that they don't over and over. You let my freaking niece die on the table in the hospital because you want to get to Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow, Doc. The day after my niece had open heart surgery a year ago, I aired that video. I'll be linking these in. How is this our medical industry? How are we supposed to trust them when they can't even do communication? They can't handle paperwork. And they obviously don't care about their patients at all. Make people in these positions of poor health, pain, all the problems that they have. She needs her money to pay these medical bills because, again, we can give tens of millions of dollars in free health care to illegals who don't deserve it, but we can't take care of our own people. What's happened to my country? So I'll share this because, I mean, yesterday did it to me yesterday too. And where did it go? So you can see here, hopefully it's in the window. I don't know. I can't see my lines and I don't know where I'm at. But I was making this video earlier, Made it about 5 minutes and it quit recording again, just like it did to me yesterday. Funny again, and they didn't realize that they didn't have her lab work done. Last time they didn't have her paperwork. And there it just quits recording. I go through this every day. There is no way that the major people who actually are able to be accomplished in presenting information are going through this, because they'd be sharing it. Why am I going through this every single day? Why has this become our world and our country? And how do we even, one, make it through, let alone not go jump off a bridge ourselves?